Welcome to the explainer. You know that feeling, right? You end your day totally exhausted. You feel like you've been running a marathon, but when you look back, you can't figure out what you actually accomplished. You're not alone. Today, we're going to break down a strategy called task batching. It's a really simple shift that can help you finally reclaim your focus and, honestly, just end the chaos of the modern workday.
This scene, it's just painfully familiar, isn't it? That Monday morning dread when you open your laptop and it's just a digital avalanche. Your inbox is screaming, you've got messages piling up, approvals to sign off on. You feel like you need to be productive, so you just dive in and start chipping away. But here's the thing, that instinct to just jump around and put out fires, it might actually be a trap.
Okay, so let's talk about this. That scattered, reactive way of working, that's what we're going to call the productivity trap. It feels like you're being responsive and getting things done, but it's really just a cycle that absolutely drains your energy and leaves you feeling busy, but not truly effective. So many of us think we're amazing multitaskers. We pride ourselves on juggling a million things at once, thinking we're being super efficient. But what we're really doing is just creating chaos and a whole lot of stress. The alternative, though, is task batching, and it's a completely different world. It's an approach that's designed for focus, for calm, and for getting real, meaningful work done. All right, so what is this magic bullet? What is this method that promises to pull us out of the chaos? Let's get right into it and break it down. At its heart, it's actually incredibly simple. Instead of bouncing around, answering an email, then jumping into a report, then getting pulled back to another email, you just group all of your similar tasks together. So all your emails, they get done in one single block of time. All your report writing, that gets its own block too. You're basically creating these dedicated zones for different kinds of thinking. Now, the real villain we're fighting here has a name. It's called context switching. Think about it like this. When your computer is running way too many programs at once, what happens? It gets sluggish, it slows down. Well, your brain does the exact same thing. Every single time you switch from one kind of task to a completely different one, your brain has to slam on the brakes and reboot. And that process, it costs you big time.
And this isn't just some clever little life hack. There is real, hard science behind why this method works so well with our brain's wiring.
Experts are all over this. As cognitive neuroscientist Dr. Sahar Youssef puts it, the whole idea that we can multitask effectively is, well, it's a myth. Our brains are actually wired for single tasking. When we give our brain one type of problem to solve at a time, that's when it can perform at its absolute best.
Get ready for this number, 23 minutes. That is the average amount of time it can take to get your deep focus back after just one little interruption. It's called the switching tax, and we are paying it all day long. Now imagine paying that tax 5, 10, even 20 times a day. It adds up so fast you wouldn't even believe it.
So here's the bottom line. Your attention is not an infinite well you can just keep dipping into. It is a precious and very limited resource. Think of it like a battery. You have to manage it strategically. And task batching is one of the best ways to build a fortress around that resource and protect your focus from all the noise. Okay, the theory is fantastic, right? But how do you actually do this? How do you put it into practice in the real world? Well, the good news is it breaks down into a really simple, actionable plan. Honestly, it's a super straightforward process. You just start by looking at your big, messy to-do list and you start grouping things. Put all your admin tasks over here, all your creative work over there. Then you literally block out time for each of those batches on your calendar. And hey, if you're a visual person, here's a pro tip. Color code those blocks. It lets you see your entire workflow for the day at a single glance. And now, for the really good part, what's in it for you? If you make this change, what do you actually get back? Well, let me tell you, the benefits are huge. The first and maybe the biggest payoff is that you finally unlock what's called deep work. This is that amazing state of flow, that pure distraction-free zone where you produce your absolute best, highest quality work in way less time. By cutting out all the constant switching, you give your brain the space it's been craving to really dive deep into a problem. Second, you will feel way less burnt out. Constantly jumping between tasks is just mentally exhausting. It actually increases the production of cortisol, the stress hormone. So when you batch your tasks, you create a calmer, more controlled workflow, which helps you get to the end of the day without feeling like you've been run over by a truck. And finally, and this is the one that sounds too good to be true, but it's not, you actually create more time for yourself. By grouping tasks and setting these dedicated blocks, you create a natural sense of urgency that just kills procrastination. You get so much more done in those focused sessions, which often means you can finish your workday earlier or at least have more free time to think big picture.
So how do you make this a real, lasting change? Let's go over just a few final tips to turn this from a cool idea you tried once into a powerful daily habit.
Look, to make this work, you have to set yourself up for success. First, know your own energy rhythm. Are you a morning person? Schedule your toughest batch for then. Be absolutely ruthless with distractions. I mean it. Turn off the notifications during a focus block. And finally, tell your team what you're doing. A simple heads-down status on Slack or a block in your calendar lets everyone know when you're in the zone and shouldn't be disturbed.
So, I want to leave you with this one simple question. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. Just think about tomorrow. What is one small group of tasks, maybe it's answering all your emails, or processing your expenses, or making a few phone calls, what's one thing you could batch together into a single, focused block of time? Just start there, because starting small is the absolute key to building a habit that actually lasts.